Great. Yeah, perfect. Then I would say we jump in directly. And of course, when there are questions on the way, then of course, ask please everything. Basically, with the industry we are talking about is the biggest industry on earth, is the biggest financial market out there. It's the Forex market, it's the trading market, around $6.6 trillion in trading volume every single day. And I think when we hear such numbers, then we all understand that in this industry, possibly quite a few people which can make a very good living out of that. Then, of course, you also have a group of people which create such an income level that the most people not even understand that something like that even could exist. No? But of course, there's also other group of people, and this is like with the most things out there, the majority. So that means they operate in the same industry, in the same market, but for them it runs not so well. No? And when this is the case, from my point of view, it makes always sense to ask ourselves what could be the reason. So one of the reasons for sure, or one of the answers on this question is for sure education. You know, of course, a lot of people are doing things where they have no clue about it. So what should be the outcome? But the second part is for sure also which tools somebody can access. So which tools somebody have available to create a completely different experience. And if these two things are coming in place, then of course a lot of people have the possibility to change from this majority group to this minority group. And this of course can change everything. So if somebody is brand new in this industry, then it's important to understand that basically already in the beginning, some important decisions have to be done. No? And one of these decisions, from my point of view, important decisions, is also which platform somebody wants to make his trades. And the platform in this industry is called the broker. But there are hundreds of brokers on the market. No? And what is important to look for? So from my point of view, most important criteria have to be always the broker have to be regulated and licensed. Which is here the case with the broker, where we then later have a look on it, is fully licensed by the FSC of Mauritius, which is for offshore brokerage, basically their address to be, goes ahead with regular audits, goes ahead with segregated accounts. And of course, when there's a customer complaint, you have to be clarified immediately. Means everything like it have to be. So also a second regulation is already in preparation, so should be very soon now visible also on the website of the broker. So regulated in addition by South Africa, means then regulated and licensed by two regulatory authorities. And of course, a lot of people, when they're coming first time in this industry, they think, no, it's something normal. No, it's not. Over 90% of all brokers on the market are unregulated and unlicensed, which is bringing in, of course, a high additional risk, because if one of those brokers should close its doors, for which reason ever, then of course, in many cases, the liquidity of the clients afterwards also stay behind those doors. So criterion one, from my point of view, a broker have to be regulated and licensed. So with this specific broker, where we have a look now, there are few specific additional things which cannot find anywhere else out there in the market this way. And the main reason for that is the broker have the power of innovation. And for those, of course, in the call, which has since longer time already in this industry of trading or Forex, they will know, I would say in the last 5 to 10 years, there was no real innovation anymore in this industry. So it means everything is old, everything is outdated. And what they are doing right now, with every innovation, what they bring into the market, they have started to reshape the entire industry. So this has led in the meantime to the circumstance that the broker is the fastest growing broker worldwide. Last month's trading volume, transaction volume, over $600 billion. So we're not speaking from a startup or let's try something or whatever. So they are far beyond this point. So their goal was 2026, so means this year, to reach the top 10 in the global ranking of all brokers. And I assume this will happen now within the next 2 months. And then it's still a long time to go until end of the year. So based on what I see right now, so I assume the broker will be within the top 3 by the end of this year. And of course, the top 3 in this industry is huge. So, but what is so special? Of course, there are a few small things, but there are also these big things, these huge innovations. So small things, for example, withdrawals are super fast. If somebody is doing a deposit or a withdrawal on the broker, there are no fees. All funding possibilities, crypto, wire transfer, credit card payments. Also, of course, in other destinations in the world, a lot of additional payment gateways, WeChat, for example, for China. So a lot of different things, how people can use then the features and the possibilities. But there are the two main innovations which have brought this enormous growth. And one of these innovations is, for example, called amplified accounts. Yeah? So what is amplified accounts? So what they have understood very well, the most people in this industry have even too less liquidity, free liquidity, to even enter this industry in a proper way. So let us make an example. Someone says, I've heard about Forex, about the possibilities, whatever, and now I want to get started. He's using or is taking $1,000 and even start to trade himself. It will turn out he's a nature talent. No? Everything works from the beginning on, which would be most unusual that it works this way, but let us say it would be this way, and he would do 5% a month. No? So 5% of $1,000 is nice to have, but possibly will not change the life of anybody. So for that reason, this amplified accounts. What means this? Every deposit at the broker can be amplified by the factor 12 or even by the factor 24. Means a deposit, for example, of $1,000 would create a trading account of up to $24,000. The same logic applies to every account size. So how is this possible? From where this money is coming from? This is based on liquidity providing. Liquidity providing is a business. Now, it's a business of banks, of financial institutions. Right now, tech markets, the broker, have 75 liquidity providers connected. One of them is also the biggest liquidity provider on earth. It's GP Prime from Germany. And with them together, basically, they can provide any thinkable liquidity to the clients. So liquidity providing combined with trading, for those which are coming from this industry, they will say, no, yeah, that's nothing new. That's correct. To combine liquidity providing with trading is nothing new, but it was never done this way. Because the one or the other here in the call possibly knows so-called prop firms. In prop firms, you can get so-called 10x accounts. And of course, a lot of people want to get this, means 10 times the liquidity of related to their own deposits to trade in the market. And if then, of course, a positive result is happening, this has a huge positive implication. So a lot of people want to have this. But in prop firms, to get something like that, you have to participate in so-called trading challenges. And these trading challenges, possibly on purpose, have a lot of very complicated rules, which leads to the circumstance that around 95% of all participants fail. Means they don't get the 10x accounts. But if they still want to get it, of course, then they have to participate again a trading challenge, and every time they have to pay for it. Could get also understood like a business concept. But here it's different. Here everybody can create an amplified account without any additional requirements. There's only one rule connected to it. If somebody, for example, would trade himself, it did not runs like he wants, and he would lose his trading accounts, the only thing, of course, what he can lose is his own money. He cannot lose the money of the liquidity providers. So for that reason, of course, there are drawdown rules connected to these amplified accounts, which have to get respected. So, but now let us say we have a beautiful account, we like it, but now is coming up the next question, what to do with that? No? Because when we have never traded before ourselves, and we say, just let's try, and we push a few buttons on the phone, we can assume we will lose our trading account ever, how big it will be within the first 24 hours. No? Because trading needs experience, needs time, needs understanding. Because in trading, basically, in my understanding, there are just two possibilities how to succeed. First way would be you learn the skill yourself, step by step. No? Can take months, can take years, and a few people possibly even after years would not understand how it works. No? But this can be done. This also can be done here. The broker is offering free education with hundreds of hours of recorded videos, live sessions with professional traders, so that people can look over the back, can learn step by step how it works. The special thing on that is it's for free. So the most companies out there which are offering education in this quality, they charge for that between $200 and $300 a month. Here it's for free. In addition, if somebody wants to use it for his own learning curve, also trading signals can be used. And the signal provider here is a very well-known person in the meantime in this industry. From my point of view, one of the best traders out there. His name is Joel Arias. He's the reason why 3 companies were going very big. He have provided the signals, and he have signed a few months ago with the broken exclusive contracts. So that means only this community have access to his signals, and his winning rate is brutal. So I cannot say it differently. Of course, this everything can be checked out by everybody himself. You can go back in his history, can see exactly what he have done until today. And this is also something very beautiful, also related to everything what is happening now, or what we are speaking about now within our call. Everything what is spoken out here, you can verify yourself. So it's not a belief question, it's a fact question. So everything can be verified by independent parties. And I think this is very, very important. So means if somebody says, I want to learn the skill of trading, he can do it based on the education tools and the live trainings, but also, of course, he can use trading signals. But if somebody is using trading signals, this, of course, needs attention, because you have to copy, paste the signal. You have to check out when you see the signal a few minutes later, if it fits in still in the market or not, something have changed. So it needs understanding. So for that reason, basically in this trading world is basically just the second option available to succeed. And this would be to find somebody which was going all these journeys through already, possibly over years, and is now able to deliver consistent results. Means to find a professional trader. But for a normal person like me, or possibly we all us here in the call, to find somebody like that is basically a mission impossible, because there are not so many of them. No? Even when a lot of traders present themselves like that. But in reality, there are very less of them. But let us say somehow, however you have done it, you have found somebody like that. But now is coming up the next question, why this person should trade for you. Because he has spent possibly years of his life to come on this level of understanding to deliver now consistent results. So why he should do it for you? And this also was solved in the meantime by one of these big innovations of the broker, and this innovation is called CopyX. So the broker itself is nearly 3 years now on the markets, but CopyX was launched on the 17th of September 2025. And I think since then, every record was broken ever done in this industry. And this possibly for a very simple reason. This was exactly that where so many people was looking for. So what is CopyX? CopyX, you can see like a launchpad for traders. So let us say you're a good trader and you come in with a track record. Means you can prove that you're able to do it. Then you can get listed on this platform. And now it's happening something very beautiful. Based on the performance of those traders, a ranking is created from 1 to 5 to 10 to 20 and so on. And for this ranking, different measurements are taken in, which is very important. It's not just the profit, because the profit is just a puzzle piece of the picture. And this is what I had to understand. A lot of people out there have a completely misunderstanding of what is a good trader. The most people think the trader which is doing the most profits is the better trader. That's a misunderstanding. A top trader is a trader which can handle risk management. This is a top trader. And for that reason, different measurements are taken in for this ranking on CopyX. One is just the profits. And then, of course, drawdown, risk management, percentage winning trades, losing trades, consistency, a lot of different things. And this creates the ranking. And the beauty is now everybody can see it. Means it's not about that someone says, I believe it's a good one, or I have a good feeling, or something like that. Everybody can see it by himself every day. Means everybody can do for himself an informed decision in his own sovereignty. And when I see the trader which I like, and they have observed, and they say, this is my thing, then he can connect with a few clicks to this trader. And from this moment on, the trades of the trader are the trades on my own trading account. So that we have a little bit of feeling from what we are talking about, we have a look to one of those strategies so that we also see the quality of the things. But before we are doing that, we look to something different before, because from my point of view, it's always important that people check the things themselves. So you can prove the things yourself. You don't have to believe anything. Not just believe something because somebody else have said something. Check it out yourself. And like I said before, the beauty is it's possible because you can verify everything on your own. So here, for example, on the website Intercom, so here see the license number of the broker, the company registration number. When you would click here on this link, I have it open already, then you would jump here on the regulatory authority, which is the FSC. So you can check out here the license. Is it valid? Is it active? Yes, it is. Means regulatory framework is fulfilled. No? And yeah, one thing possible in addition, because this was just activated a few weeks ago on the 29th of April 2026, because a lot of people have requested it, so they have worked on it. Have taken them very, very long time to do that. And in April, then it was activated, is an insurance of up to $1 million per client. So is insurance contract with the agency Amigo, also Amiga, and reinsured by Lloyd's of London. So I assume everybody knows what is Lloyd's of London. It's one of the biggest insurance companies on earth. A lot of people have heard about this company over the last few months because in the Strait of Hormuz, no, it was many, many times in the media, this insurance, because they insure a lot of those big oil tankers. No? So to understand the importance of this, we also have to understand what is the business of an insurance. So those of you, of course, which were working for insurance possibly in the past, they will know. So what is the business concept of an insurance? The first thing is, of course, they want to have their insurance fee. No? But the second part is that hopefully the worst case scenario never plugs in, so they never have to pay. This is the second part. Because in the moment they have to pay, it's not a business anymore. So we can assume out of that, they was checking out everything and was looking in every corner. On otherwise, they would never sign a contract like that. Because what is insured here? Everything what is related to a misbehavior of the broker. So means this could be bankruptcy, liquidation, whatever it is. Of course, what is not insured, possible trading losses is also clear. No? Because otherwise this would be a beautiful situation. If you win, it's yours. If you lose, the insurance pays. So this will never happen. No insurance company will sign something like that. Of course, major events, catastrophic events like a Third World War, of course, are not included in an insurance. But everything what is created based on misbehavior, possible misbehavior of the broker, then the insurance would kick in with up to $1 million per client. No? Of course, all these documents, everything is visible on the website of the broker itself. So it's super transparent. Everybody can go there and can see the things by themselves. So, but now let us have a look to one of those strategies and topics. No? And this strategy is currently what we are looking now, the number one strategy listed there. Of course, if somebody is going on CopX and says, I like the other strategy more, you can go for the other one. It's your thing. No? But this is right now the number one strategy. It's called Sonic. And important on that is, it's not a bot. It's not a bot. So all bots what I have seen until today have failed. All of them. Why? A bot is programmed. And sometimes are happening things on the market out there which have never happened before the same way. And then, of course, bots have huge challenges to handle this. So in this case, these are three physical traders, the main trader sitting in Germany, and they trade together already since the year 2011, since 15 years. And since 15 years, they deliver one thing, and this is consistency. And this is, from my point of view, the most important thing in trading. Also great is they have started already over 19 months ago to trade on a 12x amplified account at the broker. So for that reason, there's an unbroken track record over 19 months about everything what they have done or not done. And on that we have a look now. So what we can see here, average monthly results since over 19 months, 1.16%. So the one or the other will say already that's nice because the year have 12 months. That's a good result. But now, of course, are coming in here what we have talked before about it, the so-called amplified accounts. Means if I use, for example, an amplified account of 12x, I'm with the 12 times higher volume liquidity in the market means 1% positive results on a 12x amplified account represents, related to my own deposits, a performance of 12%. 1% on a 24x amplified account represents a performance of 24%. So that means the magic, like I called it, is not coming through a miracle trader, which nobody have found until today. The magic is coming through the amplified accounts. You're just with a higher liquidity in the market. So then we see here other number, which is possibly even more important than the profit itself. But most people never look on that because they only look always for the profits. No? But the super important number basically in trading is this one, and this is the drawdown, because this shows the risk management of a trader. In a time frame of over 19 months on a 12x amplified accounts, the maximum risk that accounts were ever insights was under 1%, 0.86. And this relation between profits made and risk taken, this is from my point of view exactly that where everybody should look for. Of course, we also see a lot of other things. Winning trades, for example, long trades 82% won, short trades 82% won. And then we come here to a very interesting section, which is called risk of ruin. Because everybody always have this question, this is a very proper and important question. Is there also a risk? Yeah, of course there is a risk. We're talking about trading, we're talking about Forex. But I think in general, there's nothing out there where you can gain something on one side and there's no risk on the other side. I think something like that not exists. So when you find something what you like, whatever it is, and you ask this person in the end, and is there also a risk? And this person would say no, then just my recommendation, just walk somewhere else. I think there's nothing out there without risk. But what you can do, of course, with a proper risk setting, you can minimize the risk. And this is also what we can see here. So also what we see under this section, under the assumption that they trade in the future the same like they've done in the past, what would have to happen that they would lose 10% of a trading account? They would have to lose 87 consecutive trades. Means they have to lose 87 trades in a row without interruption. So is this ever happened before? No, because we can click back. We see basically exactly the opposites. Could it theoretically happen? Of course. Theoretically, everything can happen. But is the probability very high? Because in trading is everything about probability. This, of course, you have to decide for yourself. But just as an interesting side information, the maximum number of consecutive loss trades in over 19 months was not 87. The maximum number of consecutive loss trades in this time frame was 3. And the fourth trade was again a plus. What is also important to understand is they're doing very less trades. Sometimes just 1 trade a day, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. Means even when the loss series would start, this is not something what is happening from one day to another. This would go over weeks. And I assume, of course, that the professional trader team like them, they've not forgotten next week or the next month how trading works. Also important is they only do intraday trading. Means they open a trade and close the same trade on the same day. So they don't keep trades open for days or even for weeks in the hope that the market is turning back in the direction like they need it. Every trade is getting closed on the same day. And here, of course, we can look back now to the past results. 2024, November, 1.12, 1.17, then it goes up, 1.78, 1.61, 1.63. And here we're now in the year of 2026. And here we can see in the first 2 months, it was a little bit less. But for those people, of course, which possibly trade themselves, they also will know why. Because in the first 2 months are happened a few very unusual things in the market. One of the things, for example, was the biggest price drop in gold in history within minutes. I don't know how many 10,000s of traders were wiped out of the market in this moment. What has happened here? Nothing. Because based on their analysis, possibly they have decided to not trade on this day. And there was holding back The first 2 months, they've done very less trades because it was somehow already in the air. So, but still they have made profits. And then in the third week of March, the market was coming back like they needed for their strategy. And then performance was going up immediately, 0.8%, 1.27, a little bit over 1%. And now there's still a lot of days to go in June of this year. So we will see what will be the final results. But whatever you see here now, whatever is the percentage, depends on the account type you're using. You could multiply these percentages by 12 or by 24. Depends on the account type. So what they also have done, what I like a lot, and I think all others out there like it also a lot, they have simplified the process. Because a lot of people have heard about Forex, about the possibilities connected with it, and they would like to go in this industry. They would make a step there, but in the end, they're not doing it because everything looks so complicated. And it not just looks complicated, it is complicated. And what they have done, they have simplified this process on a way that even somebody like me, which was never in Forex before, is able to do it. I like it. So for that reason, we log into one of these accounts. Just a second. I have to log in. Okay. Typing error. Now it looks better. It's loading. Great. So here we are. Hope we can see it. Yes. Now we see exactly that what we have spoken before about it. This is CopX. We see a lot of different strategies. And like I said before, everybody can choose by himself. If somebody says, I like the other strategy more, you can go for the other one. No? But we have spoken before about Sonic. So let us have a look to Sonic. So we click on here on that. And then we see here already a few interesting things. The first thing what we can see, Sonic was listed on CopyX 176 trading days ago. In this time frame, they have done 341 trades, 296 won, only 45 lost. As I think this relation is already super strong, but of course, from time to time, we also will see a minus. Possibly also whole weeks will end up in a minus because it's real trading is the real market. But of course, I understand in the meantime that a lot of people not understand this anymore because they were participating over the last years so special things with 0.5% a day, 1% a day, 2% a day fix. As if somebody should believe that something like that exists, then it's always my recommendation, best would be back to kindergarten and start from there again. Real trading means plus, minus, plus, plus, minus, minus, plus, plus. So it goes on all the time. And then, of course, is the question, what's the result over time? Also, of course, everybody can connect here his account with MetaTrader 5. Means you can see also then in real time on your smartphone what is happening on your account. Also, what we can see here, in this 176 trading days, since it's on CopyX, the maximum drawdown means the maximum risk that accounts were ever inside in this time frame was 0.26%. This is absolutely spectacular. And the winning rate of nearly 87%. Then we would say, no, we like it. Then we could click here on connect. Then of course we have to do first the deposit to the broker, can be crypto, wire transfer, credit card payments. And then of course we have to decide for ourselves what we want to connect to the chosen strategy. For that reason, I just make here an example and let us say $1,000. This $1,000 would get now automatically amplified by 12. We would have a trading account of $12,000. But now here's even an option, a possibility more. And this option is not available to everybody. So only for people within a specific community, which is here the case. And if this is the case, then you would have even the possibility to create a 24x amplified account. So how this works, of course, the person which you've invited you to this call for sure can show you. And then you would have not a $12,000 account in this example, then it would be amplified by 24, means $1,000 would be $24,000 liquidity in the market. And like I said, the same logic applies to every account size. It's just an example. No? So then, of course, we have to check out for ourselves the terms. When we like it, we can say, okay, we accept, we click on it, and then we click on copy now. That's it. That's the whole procedure. Something like that would be normally super complicated. Yeah, we have to read something here. Here's a link. Here's something to click. Everybody confused. 30 seconds. And this I've meant before with simplification. So that even somebody which was never in this industry before is able to do it, can do his first steps in this biggest financial industry out there. So what is also important to understand, CopX is technically something what can currently not be found anywhere else. So it's a MAM portal, multi-asset management, and everything is happening in real time. So what we can see here, for example, right now, to this strategy, to Sonic are connected more than 255,000 people. And there is no time delay in the trades. Everything is in real time. So it's not existing, like I said before, anywhere else this way. So what is also nice, if somebody is doing a profit, no, profits can be withdrawn immediately from the first day on. Deposits, this have to do with the liquidity providing in the background after 30 days. But I think this also gives this flexibility, what a lot of people like. Yeah? So and possibly the one or the other have asked himself right now already on the way until here, because we have spoken about education, we have spoken about trading signals with a brutal winning rate, because everybody can check it out himself. Yeah? We have spoken about amplified accounts without any additional requirements. We have spoken about newest technology in the industry, CopX, which is not existing anywhere else. We have spoken about access to a few of the best traders out there. And possibly the one or the other was asking himself already, and they've said, okay, nice, I like it, but what he want now? What I have to pay? What I have to pay to use this? And the answer is zero, nothing. It costs nothing. Everything is for free. So that means everybody can use it like he want to use it. There are no upfront costs, no monthly subscriptions, no packages, nothing. Everything is for free. It's even better than that. So because possibly also know sometimes people, they want to make out of everything a philosophy. No? Can it be like that? Can it not be like that? Of course, everybody can do like you want to do it. No? But if somebody really want to know, there's a very easy way to know it. So I'm living in Dubai, and when you order here in Dubai a cappuccino costs $10. So it's already possible to connect to Sonic, to the strategy what we've seen before, with $10. So of course, what will be the outcome of $10? Nothing outstanding because it's $10. But the important point on that is, from this moment on, I can have my own trading account and I see every day on my trading account what's happening or not happening. And when I feel afterwards fun to do more, I can do more. So that means if somebody really want to know, you can know. It's very easy. Yeah? And in addition to that, what we just have seen is something in addition in place, because I think this information have a real value. So a lot of people out there are searching for possibilities to improve their life to the better. And also in this trading space, a lot of people, because there are huge communities out there, trading communities everywhere, they are searching for something for their people, which can help them, of course, to elevate themselves in a better direction. So for that reason, I think this information have a real value. And for that reason, the CopX is also connected a so-called influencer program. So which can be used, but don't have to be used. So if somebody says, I only want to use these features, these possibilities myself, is completely fine. No? But if somebody want to give this information, want to share this information also with others, then of course, then he get also or can get part of this influencer program. And we just have a short look to that, how this looks like, so just that we have an idea. And I think always what is very important is to see the things in the context, in the bigger picture. Everything that you just have seen is for free. And this combined with this influencer program, I think this is absolutely strong. So if somebody would share the information with others and they also would say, I like it, no? This can open up to 5 income streams. The first one is the so-called profit share. So that means if others also start to connect to CopX in their own community, in their own team, however you want to call this, and they are doing the positive results, this gives a weekly participation on this positive performance. Then we have the so-called load commissions. Every time when within your own team, a strategy, when somebody have connected to CopX, a strategy is executing a trade, This creates a lot commission. Then there are the so-called leader pools, and like the word it says already, this is made for the people who really build something. As if somebody is speaking accidentally with 3 people on the roads, he never will reach a leader pool. But over time, with consistency, intensity, of course, this can be reached. And if this is done, this is very impactful because this gives a participation on every traded lot within a calendar month. And not just from the own community, from whole iTech. And iTech is huge in the meantime. So what is iTech? iTech is in charge for community building and community management. And they also have done something very unique, which is not existing anywhere else like that out there. They have built their own back office. And in this back office, first time in history was bridged affiliate software with trading software. Super complicated. All numbers what you see in this back office is coming directly from MetaTrader 5. Very complicated. But for the user, of course, it's great because you have full transparency. You see everything. The next thing is then the so-called CPA, cost per acquisition. This is something what the most brokers offer to their affiliates if they have an affiliate program, because the most of them have an affiliate program, but in a different way. So normally it's like that. Let us make an example. I am the client, you are my affiliates. Normally it's like that. I say, okay, I like it. I would make a deposit at the broker. If you're qualified, now you can get the percentage paid based on my deposit, but only one time. Here, it's every time. First time, second time, 25th time, even if I've made already a profit and they use this profit again, it's again calculated for the CPA. And on top, a few very powerful incentives where, of course, people have fun on it to reach that in addition. And what I like a lot, this whole influencer program is visible on one slide. So it's not something where people have to study 3 weeks and still nobody understand how it really works. Everything is clear. So when I would connect, for example, to Sonic, and Sonic is doing a positive result as a user, 70% of the profits made, I can keep myself. 5% is getting deducted. This is going to the traders, because I think we all here in the call understand they are doing basically the job. I don't know how many hours they spend every single day to drive this consistent performance. And 25% is given back to the community, 10 generations down, 10 levels down, each generation 2.5% of the profits made every single week. And this is not very impactful because we remember back on the so-called amplified accounts. Because this 2.5% are calculated on the profits on the account sizes. But the account sizes are 12 or even 24 times higher than the real deposit. So I hope everybody understands the implication. The same implication we have with the lots, because every time when on copy X a strategy is opening a trade, the lot size per trade is getting automatically adjusted to the account size. And here we have it again, amplified accounts. And from that up to $8.5 per lot within 10 generations, this is absolutely strong. Then we have the so-called leader pools. We've spoken before about that. And then is the so-called CPA, cost per acquisition. And here we also see now a few numbers. So if somebody would say, or would start to build something, of course, everything needs time. It's normal. No? But let us say earlier or later, because based on consistency, intensity, whatever, somebody would reach a calendar month where his team is doing all together of them, infinity debt, a volume per calendar month of $1 million. This would pay out in addition up to 5% on this 1 million. So what is 5% on 1 million? We can calculate ourselves. But the beauty is, of course, this not just could be 1 million. This could be a completely different number. Of course, there's also a difference calculation between is clear, but it's not a training now, just to get an idea. And I think what is very important to understand, and I assume here in the call, it's anyway clear for everybody, but it's not always clear for everybody. What is basically happening is when people are happy and they only see happy faces. No, I don't know if there's even another one existing out there. All people, what I see, have a big smile in their face. And when you have a growing situation, what is basically happening is that the same volume is getting commissioned again and again and again. Because the same volume is part of every profit share calculation every single week if there's a positive result. And the same volume is again and again in all these trades, means creates again and again a load commission. So, and for those, of course, who understand this logic, they also can understand, of course, for sure, what could be done here, what could be built here over time. So, also important if somebody says, okay, I like it, I want to share this information also with others, you don't have to puzzle something yourself together. Yeah? So, there are link trees, tutorial videos, referral websites where a video is running on it, 7 minutes, which explains and analyzes Sonic, for example, again, with all the data, all the facts. I think in the meantime, more than 20 languages. So to also have the possibility to give this information to others on a proper way. And also here the same thing, no? Because a lot of people are so used to that already to ask, okay, everything else until now was for free, but what they have to pay for all these tools? But the answer is again the same, nothing. Everything is for free. So everybody can use it like he wants to use it. So this was basically a short summary of what it is and what is for me the most important, and I think also for the most people out there, like said also in the beginning, this is not a belief question, it's a fact question. Everything can be validated by everybody himself. And if somebody says, for example, can it be like that? You then ask the person which have invited you to this call. Then he can open in front of you his MetaTrader 5. It depends, of course, when he have connected to his strategy on CopyX and can go back until he have started. It is like it is. And what I also like is, this is not the coming soon thing. There is no coming soon. Because I think a lot of people cannot hear this word anymore, coming soon. And then hopefully it's coming and hopefully on the same way, like we was expecting it. It's daily reality. It is like it is. No? And with that, I say, everybody here the best in the call. Of course, when there are questions, which will come up on the way anyway, so everything, of course, can get answered. And with that, I wish everybody a great first step possibly in this industry of Forex, of trading. And when there are additional questions, of course, ask back to the person which have invited you. Also, you can use anytime another Zoom call, listening in again, so until you feel comfortable. And when this is your first step in this industry, then of course, big welcome.